back cross face, we shoot our elbow as deep as possible, so we straighten our arm. We use that reach back cross face to, from here, take a head over head position, and as we're doing that, we lift everything up like so. So we can flatten her out. Now, a couple of things we can follow up with from that position once we actually hit the reach back cross face, which we'll look at in a second. The main thing is the second she goes in, she goes to start hitting that, start from the beginning. As she goes in, she goes to take whatever grip, she goes to start sitting into that overback grip. Immediately, we come here. As we come here, we want to start building height to the head overhead position, like so. So when she goes to use that overback effectively, the reach back cross face stops me. Now, right from here, I open that elbow, I return to the floor, and then I sit down towards my left hip. So that right from here, when she goes to build back up to that grip, there's too much weight over the head and shoulders, and now it's a relatively easy thing for me to start shooting that cross face in nice and deep, trapping the hand across the body, and then going to work right from there. All right, so when we hit this reach back cross face, what our goal is, and this won't always happen, it just happens when kind of does it to Craig, because Craig doesn't know how to do this position, but it won't always happen, but it can happen if you don't know what you're doing from bottom position. When I flatten someone out with this reach back cross face and we come into positions like this, like you saw this happen multiple times at ADCC, where you get flattened out in this position, and then what can happen is if I can shoot my left hand through into a nice deep bite, and I can close my left hip and left shoulder down into situations like this, now our left hand is trapped across her body. So when she goes to pull it back, it's going to be difficult from here. All right. So a couple different things we can do. This is like more along the lines of guard passing. But a couple things we can do is if we trap the hand across the body, we can start taking our head out to the floor like so. And now, when we usually go to start passing into three-quarter mount, we play a dilemma game between pushing the knee down and passing into three-quarter mount, or when we push the knee down, if she pushes on my knee with her hand, then we can take our underhook. The problem for her is that she has no hand to push my knee down. So when she tries to stop me from moving into a three-quarter mount from here, she has no hand to stop me. We can easily move into a three-quarter mount in this position, and now we can wipe the hand back across. So now when she tries to push my knee down and recover half guard, she can't do it. She has her hand trapped. And now I can start keeping the hand trap and moving into situations where I can go into a back head and arm, I can go into kayatames, I can do all kinds of things from here, okay? Which is more along the lines of guard passing, so I'm not gonna cover it in detail. But in the event that I counter this overback with a reach back cross face, when we come in here, when I flatten her out, I can turn everything into positions like this. So now when she has to pull the arm across, it's not gonna be easy. And now we can start pushing the knee down and going into all of our passes right from there. In the event that I flatten her out and the elbows, I feel like the elbow is slipping back across, she bridges 1, 2, 3, 4, pulls it back across, and we just go into an inside bicep tie. Now we use an inside bicep tie to open the elbow up. We punch our underhook in, and now we go into our standard half guard passes from a top, head, and arm. Okay, so if I feel like the elbow gets trapped across, then we can beat her by going into a three-quarter mount on the far side. If she pulls it across, if she stops, if I get her flattened out, but she bridges, she's really frantically trying to pull the arm back across, she knows she's in a bad position. As she pulls it back across, I wait for her to go. She pulls it too far through, then I can go inside bicep tie, 10 finger, open the elbow up, and then go into all my half guard passes with the top, head, and arm. Okay, so some options to pass half guard from a reach back cross face, provided we can hit the cross face, flatten our partner out, and trap the arm. So the way that you're supposed to use this move, okay, which when it's, at least I don't know what he taught in the first instructional, but when he's teaching the second instructional, he doesn't mention this at all. And when he does it live, like when you watch him do it at ADCC and he just gets flattened out, he doesn't even attempt to use this combination. Okay, but what you should be doing is when you sit for this over back grip from any of these positions, even from side control, we looked at it from half guard before, even if it's from side control, if I sit to this over back grip from here, and from here, she goes into a strong reach back cross face, and she goes to return me to the floor. As she goes to do so, I can start using this to move into situations where I can recover guard, I can wrestle up, I can go into all of my lower leg shift options right from here, where I can go and start trapping a leg. I can start right from here, bumping her forward, big side eye base, and building up from this position, and we can go into all of our attacks. Okay, so if I feel at any point that this overback fails, because of a reach back cross face, This is going to allow me to use that forward momentum of her to start bumping her forward with my knees and getting to an underhook, which is like a whole, I can teach this system from bottom position as well. But this is the intention here. So when I go in for this overback and she goes into a reach back crossface, as she goes to flatten me out from here, go ahead, we can use this to start punching in our underhooks and go into follow-up attacks right off of that. So the question is, how can we counter this? When I feel that I go to hit this reach back crossface,
Right.
and she goes to start punching that underhook in, the second I feel she goes to start pulling her knees forward and start punching that underhook in place, we're always looking, of course, to take a V-grip into our partner's armpit and beat her from this position. We're also looking to cross her ankle so she can't go into a deep half guard, like a subsequent secondary or like third attack into a deep half guard. So as she goes, to start playing in this position, I have crossed ankles. I go to start taking my partner back down to the floor like so. She goes to pull me forward, and as she does, I just sit down in this position here. So now when she goes to use the underhook, she can't do it. When she goes to take a crossface, not a crossface, a scoop grip, she can't do it. And now, right from here, we can go in a bunch of different ways that we can start playing, whether with big body locks, we can go crossface and just play from there. We can go reverse crossface or a cross shoulder post and start opening up our partner's arm. Tons of different ways we can go with passing. And the main thing is I don't want her head underneath my chest. I don't want her bumping me forward. So the second I say I go to flatten her out, if she tries to punch the underhook in, I just sag back towards the hips. So right from here, we go and she's playing this game. Right from here, we come in, we go to hit that reverse crossface. As she goes to punch her underhook in, we just play right here. Now when she tries to go underhook, she can't do it. When she tries to go deep half, she can't do it. When she tries to come up back into the overback grip, it's just not there anymore. Then we can flatten our partner out and go to work. It's actually good. I like when people play this position from a bottom position because they have to take their knee shield out, and it just allows me to flatten them out in half guard, which is what happened every single time that Craig ever tried to do this to me, ever in his life, for 4 years that we trained. Let's look at a situation where our partner comes up. You see this happen sometime from both positions, where she comes up, and from here, she goes to take the overback, but instead of taking the overback, what she'll do is she'll grab over my ankle in positions like this, okay? So the idea is that I'll use the overback to start coming up, and then right from here, I'll grab the leg. So when I start to bridge from this position, she can't base the knee out. Okay, so the idea behind this, at least, is that when I go to start bridging from this position, when she goes to base her knee out, it's going to be a difficult thing to do. So if I reach through and I grab the ankle, now when she goes to start basing out, she can't really take the leg back as far as she wants to, and now we can start stepping over and moving into positions like this. Hey, this is great if your partner's an idiot. The second that she comes off of the back and she goes to start reaching to the leg, there's nothing stopping her reach back crossface now. Okay? Now, the idea is that if your uke, the person, if your opponent, whatever the case is, on top is a moron and uses a reach back crossface in a way which opens my chest, and I try to do this, now, when she goes to bridge, yeah, I'm leaning back, and now she can bridge me open. And sure, she can potentially win this battle. The second I feel someone move to my leg, I'm going to lean forward because I know a bridge is coming. So now when she tries to bridge towards me, I just lean all my weight forward. And then right from here, without opening my chest, I hit a reach back crossface. Okay? And now, right from this position, because I have the reach back crossface, when she goes to move me around from here, I just use this crossface to just flatten her out. Okay? So anytime that I see this elbow come off my back, now there's nothing stopping my hands from leaving the floor. Okay, the only thing that's stopping a reach back crossface from here is the fact that she can use her elbow position to make my hands heavy. The second she goes to come off the hands, or takes weight off the hands and goes down to the leg, we just come in here. Now we have the access. We can go in with a reach back crossface, which tries to bridge me over from here. I just lean all my weight forward. Okay, I can also come in and I can start gathering that far wrist. Okay, because now there's no weight on my hands. If she has that overback grip, from here, if I try to start grabbing her far wrist from this position, and she puts weight on my hand, I'm going to fall on my face from here. It's impossible. I can't if I go into a reach back crossface and I try to, even from here, if I go to start reaching for the far wrist, I get thrown into my face. If she grabs my leg from this position, it gives me a reach back crossface. It gives me the far wrist. Like the second she goes to start bridging towards me from here, you just flatten her out every single time. Now if she tries to use the over back now, I just crowd her over the head. Now I can start leg riding, I can start going to claws, I can go into Nelsons, I can do all kinds of things from here, okay? So the second that your partner goes and starts grabbing your leg, whether it be from side control, we'll look at it later, from side control or from half guard, it just makes no sense. It only makes sense if she goes to grab the leg and you're doing this. Sure, maybe now it could work. I'll never do that though. I'll just stay here. So now, when she goes to start bridging, it's just a useless position. And now, the overextension becomes a liability for her, and we can start flattening our partner out relatively easy, and we can start pommeling the legs and beating it from this position. Anytime that there's not forward weight onto your hands, you can always get to that far wrist, you can always get to reach back crossface. You should just never really be grabbing your partner's leg from that position. All right, so if our partner just tries to grab the leg before she comes up, then you're going to end up in a situation where you can reach back crossface easy. The problem starts to arise when you try to go for a reach back crossface and your partner heists, okay? Which is why I generally, if I know someone's just going to heist from here, I generally will use a leg turk to start sitting my partner down, and I will go for a reach back crossface. You'll see this a lot in rolling. But in the event that we're here, and she goes to start getting up from this position, the leg turk will kill her ability to start heisting. So if she tries to heist from here, we just cover the hips, and then we can start leg turking with the leg and rotating our partner down like so. Okay, another thing that we can do from here is if she's trying to heist from this position, she's not really focused on pulling my hands to the floor. So as she goes to start heisting, I can use this over back grip, whether it be here or whether I can reach through and grab my own hamstring. Okay, I don't really recommend grabbing my own hamstring from this position, because now if she's just trying to heist from here, and pull her hips out, this is a good way to wedge your partner in place, but it's also a good way for her to start using the elbow to start getting your hands to the floor, no, elbow on my back, plug my hands to the floor, like this, okay? If you have this grip in tight, maybe it's wedged in place tight and she goes to do that, you can just face plant yourself and end up in a position which ends up being way worse. Okay, so she's just trying to heist, grabbing her hamstring can work. I don't usually recommend it because it's almost too much of a wedging effect and doesn't give you the time to start posting your hand out. So what I'll do is as she goes to start pulling my hands to the floor,